Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Sunday, September 6th. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined on this beautiful Sunday morning by my main man, my partner in crime, Mr. Andrew Hansen. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, my friend. This is fun. It's a little Sunday morning action and following up another winning night on DFS Coach Talk. The FanDuel hybrid lineup did it again.
It did it again. We're crossing into those low 80s and not looking back. I refuse to look back. I want to stay in that 80% winning percentage area, which, again, if you check out our website, would be the highest. We've been in the high 70s, but 80s would be new territory. So let's keep that rocking and rolling, man.
Absolutely. That's the place to be. Let's just keep moving forward.
It is. I'm fired up, and I appreciate you coming on with me this morning. We normally do it, as everybody knows that are our regular listeners, we do the show sort of, I guess, early morning or late night, whatever you want to talk the night before. But I think I did enough whining saying I was going to be solo that I made Andrew feel guilty enough that we got him to jump aboard. So I was like, all right, man, that's awesome.
I couldn't go without you for more than 36 hours. So here we are.
We're back. We're on a roll, so let's keep it all the same. Like, you're an old baseball player. You played in college and everything. Yep. If something's going right, you don't change any of the mojo.
Don't change a thing. Whatever you can avoid washing, you don't wash it. You do the same routine, stretching, everything.
You got it. So we're doing the same thing here for our wonderful listeners and keeping this hot streak alive. So very excited to get it rolling. Before we do, I want to thank our two presenting sponsors, mybookie.ag. It is the place to go for all of your sports wagering and casino action. Use the promo code CoachTalk, no space, all one word, and you get up to $1,000 of a match of your first deposit and a $25 free play. TVG.com, also wonderful offer, $300 risk-free bet. Go to our DFSCoachTalk.com and use the same promo code CoachTalk. All right, this is exciting today because we've got a couple of pivotal games in this series. This can make a big difference, I think, in how both of these turn out. Let me go through real quickly just the brief injury report for these games. We have Daniel House confirmed in. He missed the fourth quarter when he sort of got knocked out there for a second, but he is back. Rajon Rondo is probable. Tyler Hero probable. We don't know about Kelly Olynyk, and again, that changes their rotation because he gets a good 22 minutes in that rotation. So we got to keep an eye on that up until game time. Anthony Davis, first time, Andrew. He's actually listed on the list.
He's Cal Ripken. He never misses an inning. He can't be on the injury list.
Yeah, he is. He's an Iron Man. He's unbelievable. He and LeBron are both listed as probable for the millionth time in a row. And then save the best for last. Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo, questionable. Giannis is questionable with a sprained ankle and probably a bruised ego and all the other stuff that goes with it.
Severely
so that
bruised.
Is it. Yeah. Definitely a tarnish on the MVP stuff when he's got guys like me barking saying, hey, you can't be MVP and not be able to do all these things. So I don't know. We'll see. If he does play, you're right. He could come out and just go bonkers, but we will see how that flows. All right, we're going to dive into, because we're doing this morning of, we want to get it out quicker. So I am not going to go off onto my coaching tangents like normal. So we're going right to game one. It is a mid-afternoon Sunday game at 3:30 p.m. It's the Milwaukee Bucks at the Miami Heat. The Heat are favored by 2 points. Can you believe that, to close this out?
Wow.
So I'm thinking Vegas thinks Giannis isn't playing because Milwaukee would certainly be favored, I would assume.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Or just that their spirit is broken.
Could be. It could be. The over-under is 218.5, so it's 4 points less than the second game. So, all right, dive into this one for me, Andrew.
Well, we'll see what the news is here in the couple hours right before lock. But if Giannis is out there, I am going to bank on him going bonkers. I just don't think that he can accept a sweep and another poor game. I think he's going to, come out strong. I mean, the ankle, yeah, he was limping a little bit, but he finished the game.
Yeah,
And, a couple days of treatment, I would think he would be out there. And,
I agree.
this is it. The season's on the line.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to roll with him. I think he's going to dominate as long as he's, 90% healthy. And,
Okay.
the prices on the other guys, they're okay. Middleton is still pretty cheap on FanDuel at 7.5. Lopez is an okay price. I know you like playing him.
Yeah.
I may end up with one or two value plays though to go along with Giannis. I like DiVincenzo. He looked better last game. He's only 3.3 on DraftKings, and he got over 20 minutes. So I like that value. Marvin Williams, I do like his minutes, his rebounds. He had a decent game last game because of the rebounds. He
Yeah.
only scored 2 points.
I
So,
know.
if he just scores a few more buckets, I think he's a nice value play on both sides.
Yeah.
With Miami, the first build I've put together on DraftKings and FanDuel, I don't have any of their starters. This
Wow.
could be a fade game for me with Miami. Their
Okay.
prices have just been inching up. Um, you know, Bam, I thought, he hit value last game, but a lot of it was late.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we can count on that again. Crowder shot really well. 5 for 11 on threes. I don't know if we can count on that. Butler's been alternating good games and bad games, and he's
Yeah.
getting close to 9,000 now. Dragic, I predicted on the last show that this might be the time to fade Dragic, and sure enough, he had that 33-ish fantasy point night, and Hero was a little bit better return. So
Yeah.
I may look at Hero again over Dragic. And then with the bench, you know, even with Olynyk out, Derek Jones Jr. only got 6 minutes, and
Yeah.
we didn't have him in our lineups. I
No.
think a
A
lot of people
lot of
got.
people got burned by that one. A
Yep.
lot. Yeah.
So, he could get more minutes if Olynyk is out, but I'm not too excited about him. I think Nunn is a real sleeper on DraftKings. He's 3.3. He's a little bit much for me on FanDuel at 4.2, but he
Yeah.
didn't. I think he went over from the field. He's a guy who can get hot, especially if Milwaukee wins this one. Maybe he gets a couple more minutes and Miami doesn't go all out, down the stretch. Let's say Milwaukee's up by 10 or 12. Maybe he gets a few more minutes. So I think you could look there. But, overall, it's really all about Giannis in this game for me, maybe a value player too. And right now I'm feeling mostly a fade of Miami.
Interesting. A lot different strategy than the last go for sure.
Yep.
I think for me, just trying to strategically look at this game and figure out how they're going to come out, man, it's tough. Like, it's right now, these games are so volatile. I mean, their teams jumping up and just stinging people, Denver, laying one on the Clippers and just all kinds of stuff that, it's hard to predict for sure. I do think Giannis plays. I just can't see unless he can't walk on that ankle. I mean, I don't
Right.
think he's going to just let the team get swept. But they are in his head, and they are defending him well, even though he's phenomenal. But I just don't want to spend all my money on a guy with a bum ankle on a team that's obviously just devastated, knowing that the odds of them coming back are almost zero because no one's ever done it before. So I'm not going to go there. I have a strategy for the last game I'm going to jump on. But I am going to go to this mid-build aspect. I know I've been talking about it on multiple shows in a row. It worked again last night. If you can find a way to only have to buy way up for like one guy and then build out the guys like I want to use in this game, I want Bam and I would like Middleton. I think those two guys, I know Butler's guard Middleton, and I've been avoiding Middleton, but I think Middleton's going to try to take some of the onus and try to bail out Giannis's slump or hurting or whatever the case may be. And, he can score even with Butler guarding him, and he doesn't guard him the whole time. So there are some opportunities there. So I want to go with the second flight guy, that's not the top money in these games, and try to really build out my lineup so I don't have to, be desperate to get, take a DiVincenzo or Caruso or, all the guys that people are fading to try to make lineups they think can pop one on there. And then, yesterday there was a bunch of them. You used Plumlee, who got some ownership, and there was like 3 guys. They were all like 5-6 points total, DFS points, and it just murders your lineup. So I'm going to continue to try to avoid that grasp at the, straws of taking somebody like, Jones Jr. or something like that. So I'm going to look at that mid build again. I do want to give a look to Bledsoe. I know he's not playing the greatest, but he got minutes, and Lopez is always in my discussion. I don't know at 58 on DraftKings if I'm going to put him in there, but I want to look at the Middleton, Bledsoe, and Lopez guys. I also am going to look at the mid-level guys on Miami, Crowder and Hero. They've been so steady for me. I think Hero's minutes are so locked in, and I know this is repetitive, but 5,300 on DraftKings, and Hero on FanDuel is 5,100, and he's closing games. He's closing games, taking big shots, getting fouled. He's a great foul shooter. So I'm going to have a split build, sort of half in this game and half with the other game. And this game, it's going to be all those mid to lower mid-level guys to try to create enough salary to hit this second game. Make sense?
It does make a lot of sense. And one other point I want to make about this game in general is Miami is not really the team that would just sacrifice a game, and say, we'll get him next time. I mean, they grind, Spoelstra grinds. And so what you're talking about is, getting more of the players from this game, and on the thought that it's a competitive game.
Right.
And that does make sense to me based on Miami's mentality. And, I do think this is a critical game, even though it's 3-0 and no one's ever come back from that in the NBA. This series in particular, I think, is a little bit dicey because let's say Milwaukee wins this one, okay, and it's 3-1. What happens in Game 5 if just one of the Miami guys gets hurt? I mean, if they lose Butler or Bam, then all of a sudden Milwaukee's a team that can easily run off 4 in a row against a good team like Miami. So I do think Miami will most likely have the mentality of, let's just make sure we get this thing done right now. So
Yeah, I agree.
I think that does support your build. And, so for me, it really is just going to come down to, does Giannis have a monster game? If he does, I think my lineup can work. If he doesn't, then what you're talking about is probably going to be the winner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think I'm game scripting this to be a close game for the reasons you said. Miami doesn't want to give him any life, and Milwaukee has pride. So and a good coach. So they're not going to allow this to be a blowout, in my opinion. And so I see that coming. And I'll tell you that if Giannis, for some bizarre reason, because he's listed as questionable, is taken out and not going to play, then you just have to flood to the Middletons and Bledsoes and Lopez's, because there's going to be more usage than you could ever imagine going around to that whole group. So, all right, very good. Real quickly, because we're on time constraints here today, we do want to thank everybody that listens. We are moving way up on the YouTube searches and getting a lot more activity and views. Really appreciate everybody. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and the alert button. It just sends you a notice every time one of our podcast posts. You can definitely follow us on Twitter throughout the day. at DFS Coach Talk. I'm at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi. Andrew is at Language Olympic, and our man Shane is at DET Sports Shane. We're also on Instagram, DFS_Coach Talk, and certainly go to our website, DFSCoachTalk.com, and sign up for the special that just started 5 days ago. It runs all of September, October, November, and December. And even though we're calling it the fall special and it's built around football, you do get everything that we offer in all 4 sports. It's only $199, and it is the best offer that we have this season, because normally we're weekly, monthly, or annually, but we did this football quote unquote fall special, but you still get all the stuff that we offer in all sports. So definitely jump on DFSCoachTalk.com and sign up for that. All right,
Coach,
we're gonna.
I just want to mention, that I also want to thank everybody for their support on YouTube. That's really kind of where we're focusing our energy right now. And then thank you also to the flood of recent members.
Yes.
Folks are taking advantage of the fall special, and we'd love to have you join us, because we've got. I haven't looked at the calendar. What is it? About a month left of NBA. So.
Exactly. It is about almost exactly a
little
month
bit over
left.
a month. A little bit over a month, I think. So great time to join for a month if you want to try that. But the winning percentage on FanDuel is just absolutely outstanding. And FanDuel allows us to give you a full lineup. So we do that every day. So jump in as a member and, join us on this winning streak.
And we've been announcing it, so we're just going to keep doing that too, because it seems to have worked since we're announcing our winning percentage on that FanDuel hybrid NBA lineup every day. We are up to, do you know what our winning percentage is, Andrew? Do you remember me telling you?
81.8.
Oh, you're such a sharp guy, man. Just because you look like that doesn't mean you're not really super smart. No.
Yeah, the early Sunday morning look.
Hey, I'm going to do this even though we're on a time constraint, because I love our new members and I love our active members. And guys were in there last night sweating, because it was a hard victory in basketball last night. It wasn't one of those giant, easy crushes. We got out to a big lead, and then we had to hang on for dear life, because on that lineup we did not have Jamal Murray, the Joker, or Kawhi. So it was hang on city, and everybody, boy, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, and Jeremy Grant is my new best friend, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give take just 30 seconds. But the guys who were in there fighting with me last night, and I really appreciated the push. We had Tyler Pitzer, one of our newer members. He's awesome. The Journey, DG90501. He put up some good vibe stuff. Our man Roush from Australia. And how about this, Mr. Roush? His horse ran last night. I watched it with him on Australian TV. You can get that on your computer. His horse came running like a bullet and finished third by a head, second by a nose. He was right there. So way to go, Roush, with your horses.
Nice.
Broncos fan 001. And then we've got JG49210. He's awesome. That's a big good vibes guy. Lakers then got it going. He put the guy from 300 up there with the sword.
Right.
And then I had to pull out the Jon Snow when he's going against everybody with and that got us pumped up last night.
Yeah.
And then just a few more, because we had a bunch of new folks join yesterday. Let's see, we have, bear with me, got a little bit chatty last night when we were trying to get all these guys through. Bond 213 was one of our new guys last night. Broncos fan 001 is awesome. We've got Journey, Flashman 17, GV 7461, DFS Geek. You gotta love that name.
Yep.
That's beautiful. And there's just a few more from yesterday. A lot of these are new folks that just jumped in. H-Town 713, I want to give him a shout out. He always gets me fired up. Malcolm Judge, we say the judge is in the building. He's killing it. And that's it for now. We'll do some more next time. But I had to give those guys a shout out because we're having so much fun in there, supporting each other and pushing us to victories. All right, game 2. This is a really fun one. Houston Rockets, LA Lakers, 8:30 p.m. So there's a big gap between games. It's a true sweat game tonight. You've got the Lakers -5.5. 222.5 is the over/under. So my question to you is, did you see Harden's quote?
Summer is here, and sports are finally back, which can only mean one thing. It's time to get back, relax, and make some cash. Everyone has to start somewhere, which is why you want to get off on the right foot by choosing an established book like MyBookie.ag. With all the major sports seasons just around the corner, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. Dynamic betting lines and a simple-to-use platform make the process easier than it's ever been. Create your account in just a few easy steps. Deposit and begin placing your bets. Sign up now using promo code COACHTALK to get your deposit matched 100% all the way up to $1,000. Plus an extra $25 free play. That's promo code COACHTALK. Use it to score yourself an extra piece of the pie. With MyBookie, you bet, you win, and most importantly, when you win, you get paid.
Don't think so.
Because that has something to do with my bill.
Oh, please,
Harden, they
share.
asked Harden about the game and stuff, and he says, the reason why we performed is because we came out and we were all heart. We have heart. So he, I know he was probably talking more about them, but if you hear the quote and hear him say it, it almost sounds like he's saying the Lakers don't have heart. Right. And the Rockets do. And you give that little tiny seed of to LeBron to spread to that team. Whoo, no thank you, sir. Do not poke the bear, especially when that bear is LeBron James and he can chase down, block you from the planet Mars. I thought a couple of those chase down blocks, thought I was watching Space Jam where they fly through the air. It was craziness. So how do you have this game, man? I can't wait to hear your strategy here. I'm going to predict something, but I won't tell you. I'll tell you if I'm right after you say it. Go ahead.
All right. Well, yeah, that wasn't the smartest thing for Harden to do. Little poke there. I agree. I don't like that because the Lakers were pretty flat in game 1. What a statement from the Rockets. I'm really looking forward to watching this. Let me start with Houston. I'm going to go with Westbrook over Harden again, just because of the price savings. Westbrook, really starting to look like himself, got back up to that 32, 34 minute mark. He's getting closer and closer to that 20, 10, 10 triple double type game. This could be it.
How about the intensity too? Good God.
Exactly.
Giving the FU to the camera 5 times.
If he could just make a couple 3-pointers, it could be a smash night for him. And he's only
Wait a minute. We've been saying that since late '98 when he was at UCLA.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, that would just be the cherry on top because, even without that, I think he can smash at 8.5 on DraftKings. I think that's too cheap. So that's my first look with the Rockets. I do continue to like the combo of Tucker and Green. I think they need a few more minutes from Green with this front line for the Lakers.
I mean, after 15 rosters in a row and pushing Eric Gordon, I still can't talk you into him.
I like him. He's such a cash guy to me. He's so solid. I know why you like him. Yeah. I don't blame you, but at 5.9 on DraftKings, he's basically 6,000. The likelihood of him getting 40 fantasy points and really smashing a 7x type game, I just think it's unlikely with both Westbrook and Harden, so much usage. So, for the solid cash lineups that you build, again, I think he makes sense. But it's just tricky, especially if you're going to go with Giannis, to also have a guy like him. So that's the trade-off there. Covington, is still in play for me. Really didn't shoot as much all of a sudden. Focused more on defense last game. So that'll be a challenge to fit him in. On the Lakers side, I do like LeBron to bounce back and try to take over. AD still makes a lot of sense to me, especially on DraftKings. I mean, he's priced up over on FanDuel. He's 900 more than LeBron on FanDuel.
Right.
On DraftKings, he's cheaper than LeBron. So
yeah, it's crazy.
It may be a situation for me where I just use LeBron where he's cheaper on FanDuel and AD on DraftKings, because I do think they both can smash.
Yeah.
And then I may have to go back to Pope, given his price. Rondo.
You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Rondo really looked good. Didn't look rusty. He's still cheap on DraftKings. He's not cheap on FanDuel. And then the one guy who I don't think I'm quite ready to play, but I just want to mention him, is Kuzma. He's under 5,000.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of not really there. He had 28 minutes last game. He only took 9 shots. He's sort of like Porter Jr. for me. For a team that needs some offense, they need to do something different. Why don't they feature him more? Why don't they get him more involved? The guy's got a lot of potential. I mean, if he's playing to his potential, he's not a 4.8K guy.
Yeah, he's just not involved in anything half the time that he's out there.
I mean, what are the chances that all of a sudden he'll get fired up and they'll use him more and he'll pay that off? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It seems like he's wasting time out there a lot. All right, well, I've got an interesting build here for you, Andrew. You're not going to believe this one, but it's true. Got? I didn't pay up for anybody in that first game at all.
Yep.
Okay, I have a few value plays here. I did read something from Vogel where they asked him about Rondo and how well he played. He could have played better, actually, but he got decent minutes. And what his quote is Rondo is going to make a big difference in this series. Okay. So I think he gets 24 minutes. And at 3,300, he gives me the path. So even though I'm preaching not buying down for cheap garbage guys, I'm just looking at Rondo as a safe play half the game, get me 18 to 22 fantasy points and I'm on down the road. Okay. And what it does is it allows me to take him and another guy or two on the lower side from this game, to fit with the Lopez's, and certainly Eric Gordon, I think, is still, he's below, the fact that he's sub 6K, I'm just going to keep playing him because he is just making value, bang, bang, bang throughout. I've already talked about the Bledsoes, cheaper, and Tyler Heroes. So what it allows me to do, and I've already built the lineup, so it's possible. I'm going all in, LeBron and AD. I lost you. Are you there? Oh,
I'm here, yeah.
Back. Okay. Yeah, risky to play both.
You've used that combo before, and it has worked.
It has worked for me. I've only used it one other time because that's a very unlikely build for me that I can find enough good value that's not garbage dumpster dive value. So I just think LA comes out here. I don't see any way in hell they're going to go down 2-0 to Houston. I just don't see it. And they are well rested. They've only played one time in a week. Maybe they needed to get some of that rust off because they're veteran players. And I think they come out. I do have one concern here, and it sounds like a stupid one since Houston beat them by 15. I just don't want them to blow Houston out because that would hurt me.
I don't think they will. I mean, like I said, I picked Houston to win the series, and I think they're deeper. They're more balanced, more talented, better shooters. Wow. I think the Lakers are in trouble in this series. I don't think the Lakers will blow them out.
See, we're 100% opposite camps. Now, I didn't bet anything on the Lakers to win the series like you, so I'm rooting for you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
But I think I see the Lakers winning this 4-2 still. I think they come in today, smack them around. I think that, I think LA is a double-digit winner here, to be honest with you. And I just want it to stay close enough that LeBron and AD crush it for me. So, Yeah, it seems like I've been playing guys, and it's just coincidental, but I've had a lot of guys in the early games. Well, we've been stacking Toronto, Boston a lot, and a lot of people have avoided that because the number is lower. But look at it again yesterday, man. They played all three guys, Van Vliet, um,
Lowry and Siakam.
Lowry. They never came out in the second half, not a
Yeah.
second. So you got to love it. But anyway, I've had a lot of early game exposure and not late game, but this just turns out this way. I always tell everybody, don't let that affect you. And it really didn't. It's just, I really think the buy-up potential on these two guys is there. And if I can avoid a Giannis, I am the MVP, 90-point fantasy point game,
Right.
then I can survive it. So I don't know, all in on LeBron AD here. I know they're both listed as probable, but I'm going to feel comfortable that they're playing.
It's going to be a great slate. Interesting that there's such a break in between the two games at 3:30 and then 8:30 Eastern. Give us a chance to watch some golf there. But I mean, it's going to be, you're going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs, anxious, chomping at the bit to get LeBron and AD out there to see if they can smash for you.
Oh, I'm fired up. But the good thing is, like you said, I'm glad it's that way because not only I have one PGA lineup that's flirting with some serious takedown. I'm at 300 points, and this is my best PGA lineup going into the weekend. Even though it's Sunday, Monday, it's the weekend that I've had this season. I mean, it's smoking. So I'm going to be watching a lot of golf, and then baseball's this afternoon, not this evening, because it's a Sunday. So I'll be doing the TV rotation of, and again, I fell to it again the other day. I was rooting for a guy to hit a homer, and I had flipped it and trying to watch 13 games at once, and it was my pitcher, and I'm rooting in the homer, and it was against my own pitcher. So I complete fail for the coach there, but what are you going to do? When you're watching that many, you get a little bit confused. But so we're excited. I mean, what a fantastic Sunday. We've got these two awesome basketball games. We got our stuff going left and right with golf and with baseball. And then I know every day you and Shane are just pounding away at the NFL, just chomping at the bit. Yep. Shane is like one of those wild stallions you're trying to keep in the barn. He's so fired up for football.
Unstoppable force.
Yeah. So do you want to share before we close real quickly on what's coming up in the NFL season and how we're going to be presenting that on Coach Talk?
Crush City, every slate. That's the plan. And we're not just going to do the main slate. We're going to do all the showdown slates as well. I absolutely love those. Had a lot of success on DraftKings there. Shane will be a little bit more shaded towards focusing on FanDuel, but we will continue to bring you the FanDuel cash lineup, the FanDuel GPP, the coach's clipboard on DraftKings. And we're just, as you said, we're chomping at the bit. Can't wait to start up Thursday. It's like, wow, all of a sudden it's going to be here. So again, jump in now with that fall special and you'll get all the football coverage through the end of the year. And
for our listeners, what podcast days for NFL?
We're still sorting out if it's going to be Wednesday night or Thursday morning before the Thursday game. But we are going to talk about the full week slate on the show that will be out by Thursday, because there are some, slates where you can play for the whole week. And we're also going to make sure we give everybody the early look on Sunday so that you can, if you want to play the full slate, you can do it on Thursday. And if you're still going to wait for Sunday, at least you get that first look where you can start to zero in on the games where we want to stack. And then you follow us on Twitter, follow the injury news through Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning we'll make our final changes and adjustments.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. All right, we'll close out here. I want to thank our presenting sponsors, mybookie.ag and tvg.com. Go to dfscoachtalk.com, and for both of them, use the promo code CoachTalk, one word, no space, and you get their fantastic offers. Also, our charity of choice here is mambaon3.org. That's MAMBAONTHREE.org. It is a wonderful charity set up by the Bryant family. All right, all in with AD and LeBron today. I'm going to have to find an old Lakers. I think I have an old Lakers hat from back in the day, so I might have to pull that out tonight. So we'll see.
We'll have a lot of members who like that. We've got some Lakers fans in there.
That's true. We do. So we wish you all the luck today and all the sports you're playing. Hopefully this helps you in basketball for sure. And we'll be back again tomorrow, as we are every day, doing these NBA podcasts. So final word, sir?
Thank you for joining us, and good luck today.
All right. Shout out to all our new members, and check us out on YouTube. Again, thumbs up, subscribe to us is key, and then hit that alarm. And by the way, if you're listening to us, the audio version of us, we're on Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeart, and specifically on iTunes. If you have a second, go in there because we have a contest. If you give a 5-star rating on iTunes and a quick comment, then you are in our drawing each month for a 1-month membership. We had a winner this month that we did 5 days ago, and we'll do that at the end of September as well. So jump in there. All right. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful Labor Day. Stay safe and healthy out there, and we will look to catch you again tomorrow as we look to crush it in DFS.